Hey, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Tell me about this bug judge.
The bug judge is a federal judge on the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. Now, he doesn't usually come here. He usually hangs around in San Francisco, Nevada, Hawaii. He doesn't usually come to Portland. But we got word that he's coming Monday for a whole week. His name is Judge J. bYbEE. Now, I usually screw that name up because I have a really psychological problem with this guy. But this guy is a judge on the federal court because Bush appointed him as a reward for writing all of the torture memos and the justification for going into Iraq. This guy murdered our military people over in Iraq because the people in Iraq, when they saw the pictures of all the torture that was going on in Abu Ghraib and other places, they went nuts. And so would I. If someone did to my family what they did to the Iraqis, I would go nuts too. So he's responsible for a lot of deaths in Iraq and also in Afghanistan, because the lingering part of what we did in Iraq will go on for generations. And this man should be impeached. He should be tried. He should be put in the deepest hole that we have in our prison system, because he is disgusting.
It's pretty hardcore.
It's hardcore, but just, he got his nickname as the judge or the bug judge because he said it was okay to take prisoners and put them in a box and then introduce insects in there while you're interrogating them. So they begin to smother, they have these bugs crawling all over them. That's what he said was just wonderful.
He claimed that that's not torture and that's okay to do.
Him and Cheney say it is not torture. Even Obama, Wimpy Obama came out and said this was torture. So then the question arises, why aren't Cheney, Bush, Judge bYbEE, Professor Yu, who teaches at the university in California, why are they not in prison? The reason, I think, is there is corruption on the highest levels in Washington because they were all involved in the decision to invade Iraq. So if they go after this judge, if they go after Cheney, all of a sudden you can hear testimony, well, Congress supported this war for 10 years so far. And they kept coming out with supplementals, and they kept coming out with funding. So how the hell do you try Bush for treason when the entire Congress was involved in it, save one? And I can't remember her name, but she was, I think a young woman that was in Congress that said, no, there's something very wrong with this. We had tens of thousands of people in the streets protesting before the war. We were begging them not to go. So where are we now? We're doing the same thing with Iran.
Now, have you ever protested this bYbEE guy before?
Yes, we protested the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals for about a year and a half. And then it became obvious, and Bush was out of office, it became obvious that nobody was really interested in doing this anymore. So, the reason that we're going to protest all week long, starting Monday morning at about 8:30, in the hopes that we can catch a glimpse of this monster, because I want to point him out. I want to say, there's a real live monster. You didn't get a chance to meet Dharma, but meet this guy. He's the same, except he did it bigger. We're going to start it on Monday morning at 8:30. And we're going to be there about a half hour before the court starts. They start at 9 o'clock. And then we'll stay for a half hour or so just to make noise. So as he's sitting on the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, he will hear monster, monster, monster over and over again. And if he had any dignity at all, he would resign because he's embarrassing every good judge that sits on the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, which is a good court. It's huge. It covers 9 states, I think. And his colleagues on the court should tell him, resign, and get our soul back, because we will never get our soul back while he sits on the court and he makes judgments on other prisoners that are in prison, committed crimes, things like habeas corpus go before him. He's a fraud. He's a defective human being, and he should be off that court. Every time I even think about him being on the court, I just go crazy. So,
Well, I'm glad you're out here telling people, Joe. It's pretty damn cold out here, and you could be sitting at home ignoring the whole thing. But you and Roberto are out here, and you're educating people and letting us know.
I mean, he sits on the court right below the Supreme Court. He makes decisions on what other judges did. That's who you have sitting on this court. I mean, it's so bizarre and so outrageous. And he's coming to our city. So come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and tell him, I don't like you being here. I don't like you as a human being. You need help. You need serious help.
Okay, I'll be there, Joe. Thanks.
Yeah.
So, Roberto,
Anybody?
you going to the bug judge protest?
Joe and I, the Lone Vet, are going to be there. It's like a little bit before, well, probably at 8:30 on Monday morning. It's going to be there the whole week. And
Pioneer Courthouse?
yeah, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, the courthouse right across the street from Pioneer Square. And I hope, some people find out about this so they can come out and join us, because that judge is a criminal judge. He's the one that helped with the legal memos to give George Bush some legal legal authority of some sort to be able to torture and waterboard prisoners in Abu Ghraib and wherever they detain people. So that guy, then Bush appointed him to the Ninth Circuit. But before that, he was the assistant. He was the assistant attorney general for the Bush administration. And so after all that stuff that he wrote up for him and John Yoo, the law professor at UC Berkeley who's teaching law. I mean, another
That's
criminal.
scary.
Yeah, it's just all these right-wing torture people, and so we want to welcome him here, or in other words, we want to say, get the hell out of here.
You want to let him know that we know he's here.
Oh yeah, that he's a criminal. All that torture that went on. I mean, hooking up people private parts to electric wires and making them stand for hours and hours and hours. Flash with strobe lights and music and all kinds of stuff. It drives you crazy, and then they expect you to say something.
That's
So
shameful.
it was horrible. Anyway, we just want to remind him we know what he did, and we're still out here, and whatever possible thing. Joe actually knows the Chief Justice of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, and he asked him personally if he could do something about Judge bYbEE. But got to go through a lot of hoops, and they got to go through the impeachment thing. So,
We're going to be out there making a bunch of noise.
yeah, I hope so. I hope some people can come out and join us. I know it's going to be cold and fairly early, but if you don't have to go to work and you got some time, come and help us out. I mean, we're going to be there all next week, because he's going to be there. We're going to change different shifts, like maybe come in around just before lunchtime, so he can, if he leaves the building for lunch, we'll be out there too and stuff. So let him know we'll be out there.
Okay.
So
Thanks for
thanks
informing
for
people.
doing this, and putting it out there so people can find out about this, And then my other topic was, we live in a global corporate tyranny, man, and they're just trying to the corporations are trying to make everybody a low-wage slave, and without health care, without anything. And then those rich people at the top, they're just laughing all the way to the bank, And it's just horrible. I mean, we got to get some equity here and spread the wealth in this country, because there's plenty of it.
Hey, Roberto, it says, what's the word tyranny mean in a nutshell?
Well, it's sort of when you're living under a stressful thing where people above you put stuff on you, and you know, they don't let you live a proper life. They, you know, step in every part of you. It's like the police. You can't do anything. We're moving more towards.
They oppress you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tyrannical. This is, you know, everything you try to do, they put down. They shut down. I mean, they're actually, you know, they're building up the prison complex to put more of us away.
Were you and Joe out here on F-29?
Yeah, we were out here.
Good.
You know, so hey,
thanks
it's
for
cold,
being there.
but yeah, we're just doing our stuff.
Okay, we'll keep
All
it
right.
up.
Yeah. Thanks, Joe. Anybody?
Okay.